Hi. So let's solve this SQL problem. This is very interesting problem and asked in so many interviews. The question is, a digital marketplace keep track of available item and the spending limit of buyer. Each buyer wants to purchase as many as item as possible without exceeding the spending limit. It means, let's take an example, a buyer, uh, let's say A, having spending limit of 500. So he can purchase all the product within the 500. Write a SQL query to determine the following buyers. How many item they can afford within their spending limit first, and second one, list of the item they would purchase. So we have to tell them two things. First, how many items, second, the list of items. Okay. If the multiple item compete for the remaining budget, the cheaper item will always be selected first. Okay. It means we have to do the order by based on the price. What they have to return: buyer ID, spending limit, total item affordable, and purchase item list. Let's move to Excel to understand it better. Okay, so just a second. Yes, we have two tables: buyer limits and inventory item. In buyer limits, we have buyer ID, spending limit, and in inventory item we have item code and price. Buyer ID is like 501, 502, and what is their spending limit. And in the inventory code like A01, A02, something like this, and the price as well, like what is the price. Okay, so now what we have to do and what is the output? The output is this, like buyer ID, spending limit. These two column will come from buyer limit, and total item affordable, like how many item this particular person can afford and what is that item. Same as 503 can I spending limit 1500. He can afford three item, and these are the item limits. Okay, let's move to SQL to solve this. How we can solve this? First of all, we have to use to join the like cross join. In cross join, we will like every buyer will going to attach with join with all the item codes. So first of all, write this code, and then we will write the further code. So we have two different tables. One is inventory item and buyer limit. Inventory item and buyer limit, or let's take an example, buyer limit and inventory item. Okay, so a buyer can purchase this much item. Let's write code for this. First of all, we have to use the cross join. So how we will use the cross join? Select a star from buyer limit, and simply we will write cross join inventory item and write this, run. We have like for every order by based on two things. One is buyer ID, and another one is, let's take an example, price, and let's run this code. So every buyer ID, let's say in 501, spending limit is 350, and we able to write all the item codes here and all the price here with the help of cross join. Now what we have to do, we have to find out a buyer can purchase how many items, number of items, and what is the code for that. So what we will do, let's create a CTE. Select star with CTE as cross this, and here we will write select star from CTE. Let's run this code. Run this code. Okay, just a second. We don't have to write the order by clause here, and let's run this. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find out uh running total. Okay, we have to find the running total. Why? So let's take an example. 501 spending limit is 350. So he will going to write, just a second. Yes. So 500 buyer ID 501, spending limit is 350, and the price is what is the price of these item codes. So 100, like 501 buyer ID can only purchase one item. Okay, if he going to purchase these two items, then the summation of these two will be more than 350. So we have to find the summation of row by row summation of each product. So how we will going to do? Let's find the running total, summation of price, And then what we will do, over partition by based on which column? Buyer ID column. Buyer ID column. Okay, and order by based on price. And what is this? This is running total as running total. Let's run this code. So we have a running total in front of every, like we created one column of the running total. Now what we will do, we will find all the rows where running total is less than the spending limit. Okay, let's run this CTE2 as select star from CTE2 where this particular running total should be less than and equal to spending limit. And if I will run this code now, then what will happen? I have only those rows. Where the running total is less than the spending limit, so that that particular item can be purchased within its spending limit. Okay, let's now what we have to do, we are going to create another CTE3 as, and what we will do now, we will going to find out the total item affordable and item list. So to find out these two things, we have to do group by. Let's write group by code. Group by based on which column? Group by based on buyer ID and spending limit. So buyer ID and spending limit. And let's copy this, and instead of star, let's paste the same code. Let's run this. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to find the total item purchased. So how we can find out? We can simply write the count of star as total item affordable. So what it will give me? It will return me the total item affordable by these particular buyer ID. Now the next thing, I have to find out the item code. So to find the item code, there is a one function in SQL Server, that is the string aggregate function. So I am going to use string aggregate. How we have to use the string aggregate? In string aggregate, on which column we want to find the string aggregate. So we have a item code column, and what is my delimiter is comma, and close this. Let's run this code once, and now we have column name and is 10, like he can afford this particular item. This particular buyer ID 505 can afford these two items. We have to like do the group by as well in this particular item code on the basis of price. So how we will write? We will write within group and simple order by which column? Order by price column. Okay, it means within this group I want to do the order by, and order by based on DESC as this particular item list, and if I run this code now, so I have buyer ID, spending limit, total item affordable and item list, but I have 501, 502, 503. I don't have 504 because he don't able to purchase anything because the spending limit is 100 only. If you see the output, we also need 504. How we will going to find out? For this we have to use the join again with the buyer ID column. So let's create one more CTE 4, as, and we will going to close this, select star from CTE, select star from, we are going to join in this particular table, that is buyer limit table. So buyer limit B upon n with join, we want everything from the left hand side, so, and the common record from both the tables. So we will going to use the left join with which table, with CTE4 table as C4 on B dot buyer limit equal to C4 dot buyer ID. If I will run this code now, so I have buyer ID, spending limit, buyer ID, spending limit again, total item affordable, and total list. Let's pick few columns such as let's pick uh, b dot b dot buyer ID and b dot spending limit. Okay, and then I want from C4, I want the total item affordable, comma C4 dot this particular spend, that is spend item list, and let's run this code again. Okay, so in item list affordable and to item list, it is null, and other columns we have value. But if we again go back to the output, in the total item affordable, it should be 0, and item list it should be null. So there is a one more function, that is call as function. In this total C4 item affordable, we will going to use call as function, and the spelling of call as is COA L COA L S I think yes, Collis. Okay, and then wherever it is null, we will going to write 0 as total item affordable. And if I will run this code now, so C4, it is will be comma, and now run it again. Yes. So now in total item affordable, we have 0, and in the item list, it is null, and now it is similar to what we want. Okay, so in this, what we did, first of all, we will use group by. Once it is group by, we will find the running total. After running total, we compare the running total should be less than the spending limit. Once it is done, we will use group by. In group by, we find the count star to find the total item affordable, and then use the string aggregate function, so that like we can find the item list. And once it is done, then we again join, so that we also need 504 id buyer id, and then after that we are using the college function, so that we don't have the null value in both the columns, in total item affordable and in item list. So we use the college function and keep it as 0. So this is your solution for this question. I will share this particular question and the both the like creatable command and the insertable statement and this answer as well. But just try to solve this solution. This is really very important interview question, and it is very interesting as well. Thank you so much. Let's connect again in next video.